Hey guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. Now today's video is going to be an interesting one. We are going to be talking about Paper Mario the Origami King. Now as you guys know, as I've said many times, my feelings of the game going into it have been very mixed, very divisive. You know, not a lot of people like my negative opinions of the Paper Mario series nowadays. But today we're going to be talking a little bit more about my first initial feelings of the game. And just so you guys know, I've really, at this point, only really played up to the first streamer. I've been very busy recently, so I haven't had too much time to really dive into this game as much as I really wanted to. But I'll at least tell you guys my first impressions for now, you know, about the game. So, without any further ado, guys, let's get into the video talking about Paper Mario the Origami King. So let's start off with the story and my first impressions of the story. And again, I've only played up to the first red streamer, so, you know, I don't know too much of the story yet. But so far, the story's okay. Just okay. I don't think, as of right now, there's been anything really mind-blowing. And I know I have yet to really get deep into the game, so there might be something that really throws me for a loop. I heard that there's a really big plot twist at some point, or just something really big that does happen. So please don't spoil me as to that moment. But I do know that, you know, there are things later on that do happen that make the story maybe a little more alive, a little better. So hopefully my first impressions will become null and void once I get a little deeper into the game when it comes to the story. But right now the story seems very simplistic. You know, Mario and Luigi go to Peach's castle. You know, Ollie, who's the Origami King, basically takes the castle using his 5 streamers of death. And he puts Peach's castle up into a mountain, and now Mario has to save the day. Pretty basic, almost cliche story at this point when it comes to the Mario series, particularly the Paper Mario series. But, you know, it's pretty run-of-the-mill, nothing too unique here, nothing too amazing. But it's not horrible either. You know, I'm enjoying the characters so far, which we'll get into in a little bit, but I'm enjoying the characters of Ollie and Olivia. They're pretty good, and they really intertwine well into the story, so, yeah, so that's that. Next up is the characters. The characters, also, I'm a little bit 50-50 on. Olivia is pretty good. Olivia is one of those weird characters to me where I really hate how much she interrupts the action, particularly in the beginning. It really made the beginning very slow, and I get it, you know, that the fact that there's tutorials and you have to go through them, but the fact that basically the first 2 battles you go in, she gives basically the same spiel, the same tutorial. Like, that really, to me, slows the beginning down a lot, and she does a lot of tutorial throughout the experience, so really, Olivia's good. I just hate how much she really butts in, and, you know, and tells you everything. And then you have moments when you're, you know, when you need her, when you need a hint, and she's pretty useless. I remember one situation where I was looking for a hook to go into a sewer system, and I was kind of confused on how to get up to the platform to get the hook. I didn't know that you could hammer the car out of the way. And when I asked her for a hint, she gave me the most useless answer ever, like, huh, I wonder how we're going to get that hook. And it's like, okay, so you're going to give me buttloads of information in the beginning and be like too much help. But then when I need you, you're not going to give me, like, at least a little bit of a hint on how to get up there. You're basically just asking what I was asking. How do we get up there? So, I don't know. Olivia is a mixed bag for me right now. I like her. She's kind of quirky, kind of funny. But she's really intrusive in a lot of instances. And, I don't know. And again, it might be because I'm still kind of in the beginning of the game. But, I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, given that it felt like I was at the tutorial stage for, like, an hour. And the fact that the tutorial ranged over like 4 or 5 different battles in a row really did drag out the beginning for me. So that's one of my main complaints so far. And I mean, this is a complaint that I can have with a first impressions, is that the beginning, to me, was really slow. I really had to grind to get through the beginning. But again, that's my own personal opinion. Next up is the music. Honestly, the music so far has been really solid. I actually really like the soundtrack for this game so far. I really like the battle theme for the red streamer. I know there's like apparently different music for each streamer, you know, you go for. But the red streamer battle theme is pretty cool. And I just overall like a lot of the areas have ambient music, which I really like. I like ambient music as opposed to music that's in your face. Music should serve as background, kind of a background thing, rather than being up in your face. And I think this soundtrack does it beautifully, again, so far. But yeah, I think the soundtrack's really good. I think the music's really good. And I hope that throughout the rest of the game, the music is just as good. Alright, let's talk about the battle system. again, I'm 50-50. I think the battle system could work, but I'm not a real huge fan of it so far. Firstly, from the battles I've gone in so far, and I've tried to battle a lot of enemies. Like, I've tried to, succumb to the random encounters battles. I've never fled a battle, just so I can get a real feel for the battle system. And the solutions are either dumb simple for the puzzles, or really, really tricky. And that's where I'm like, okay, so there's no kind of middle ground. Like, I feel like the battle system is too convoluted. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, you're under a really strict time limit, and yes, you can use coins to increase your time, but you only have a certain amount of moves, and it's just really complicated. It's just too complicated for its own good. Like, again, I don't hate the battle system. I don't think it's the worst thing, in the world, but I really think that they could have done something better. I would have preferred the old style RPG kind of battle, where, that they had in Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door. I would really prefer that over this. And especially when you get to the boss battles, when I got to the first boss battle, being the Earth Elemental Venom thing, I don't know how to pronounce that, but the Earth thing, where the giant Koopa Troopa, I was just like looking at a giant grid, and even though Olivia did help me, when I was put on my own, I was like, okay, what do I do? There weren't clear enough instructions, for certain things. Like, there was a part where I thought if I had a blank space in front of me and then an arrow, I thought I could just go right to the arrow. But no, if there's nothing in that front space, you can't move at all. And I'm pretty certain Olivia didn't say that. If she did, then by golly, I'm wrong. But I think the battle system is just meh. It's not horrible. Like, I don't usually have a problem with a lot of them. Like I said, a lot of them are just bone dead simple. But then you have the ones that you really have a lot of trouble with. And the fact that, at least, again, for me, there's no middle ground between it being super, super easy and it being pretty difficult. There's not, like, a middle ground. I don't know. And on top of the fact that there's no real reason to do the battles. The amount of coins and confetti I've gotten from the world. Confetti is basically infinite in the world, right? So you can get as much confetti as you want. But the coins, again, you can find them a lot in the world. And coins do respawn in some areas. So I have no issues with coins either. So I don't really see the purpose of doing the random encounter battles. Obviously the boss battles and stuff are mandatory, and there are some regular battles that are mandatory through scripted events, but I don't know. It's the battle system's not it for me. It's just not it. And I know there are a lot of other people that are disappointed in the battle system too, so yeah, that's just me, I guess. Alright, visuals, the graphics. The game looks beautiful. I don't know what else to say. The graphics are really, really good. I really like the lighting, particularly in the, enclosed building areas, like in Peach's Castle, and the tower up to the first streamer. The lighting there is really, really good. I really, really like that. It adds a mood, and it really works with the music in some of the areas. They made the music kind of fit the environment that Mario is in, and yeah, just super, super cool. I'm not a big fan of, everything being, cardboard and paper, the coins are cardboard, but, I mean, that's just style, I guess, that's very subjective, but the game, like I said, overall, looks very, very good, yeah, and I can't really say too much besides that. Gameplay, however, actually playing the game, in my opinion, feels sluggish. It feels slow. Again, like I said, the beginning itself was pretty slow, but the more I'm getting into it, and again, I'm only up to the first streamer, so maybe it speeds up later on, but it really feels like a grind to get places, because the world is pretty big. Like, in the older Paper Mario games, I really felt like everything was very, even though the worlds were big, they were big in more of a two-dimensional sense. There wasn't, this giant open world for you to kind of explore, so it's very different, and the movement speed of Paper Mario, I feel like, doesn't translate well to that. So I feel like the movement speed is slow, so that makes the overall experience slow, and especially when I'm stopping to throw confetti on holes, which gets me coins, because like I said, I want to get the coins, so I gotta use the confetti to cover up the holes, so the overall experience so far has been slow, and I think that's why I haven't really, I kind of stopped playing it for a bit, just because I needed a break. It felt very tedious at points to just like grind on. Especially, you know, when I was collecting the 5 stones, there was one that I was missing, so I had to keep backtracking and look for it, and I eventually did find it, but it felt like such a grind because of how slow the game is in general. I don't know. Again, that might just be me, but I don't know. I really don't know. Also, I'm really not a big fan of the 1,000-fold arms gimmick. Like, I know, like, you know, the motion controls are optional, you can turn them off, and I did. But it just seems kind of tacked on and cheesy, and I mean, I guess it's useful in some battles where you can like pound, you know, like your enemy using the fists. But like they could have substituted that for a different move in Mario's moveset. I don't know. Just the 1,000-fold arms to me is gimmicky. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I guess again that is subjective. There are probably people who like it, you know, and if you do, all the power to you. But yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of it. Overall, like I said, this is a first opinions video, or first impressions video, sorry. So, you know, it's not a full review or anything. I'll probably do a full review probably in a couple weeks' time, because that's probably how long it'll take me to beat this game. But overall, I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it so far. I'm not like, oh my god, you suck. But I definitely don't love it. It's not the kind of Paper Mario that I'm into. It takes away a lot of the charm from the originals because of the fact that there's not really any original characters. Or at least many of them. A lot of them were just generic. You know, it just doesn't feel right to me. So, I guess that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All that stuff down below. Make sure to click the little notification bell so that you're notified of when I upload a video. And make sure to check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak merch up on there that you can check out. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one.